Hey there.
Hey, how's it going, Lee?
Good, man. I apologize. I'm in the city here in New York, so it's a little chaotic for me, but I'm gonna do my best for you. No worries.
I appreciate the time. Won't keep you too long, but got to talk about the new music, the tour, and get
Yeah,
your opinion on a couple things. And
yeah, absolutely.
dude, I think you're the first band I can think of to release two albums in this pandemic time. I don't even know if we're out of the pandemic yet, but certainly
Yeah, right,
two
right.
out in that time. And Versatile last year, and I understand you were working on that in 2019, and then now the new album Skeletons. And kind of curious, man, was any of that left over from the Versatile sessions, or did you just start working, sitting around bored at home on new music right away?
It was kind of in that same time frame, but there were different sessions, and I think we had just sat down and we were getting ready to kind of possibly release the fourth single on Versatile. It was a very successful album for us, two number one records and another top 10. So we were like, wow, this is great, that we'll just go into a fourth single. And I remember going out to California there to kind of just see what came out in a I want to say a late fall session, and Eye of the Storm and Paranoid were written right then.
Oh,
So I
wow.
remember right around Christmas time, getting a call from management. They were like, you know what, we're not going to go with the fourth single. We're just going to go with the first on the next album. So I was like, oh, okay, let's dive into it then. Let's do it. So we just kind of they were in that same kind of during that off time and whatnot, but it was a different mindset probably, with this new one, but still very similar to that same kind of, hibernate, ready, set, wait, kind of like how are we going to release these albums. So it was a different kind of weird vibe, that I had going on in my own head there. But I was just kind of going with the flow. It was just felt good to be actually working, and without any shows, it just made sense to just be creative and just keep writing.
Yeah, that's been the interesting thing for me, just being a music nerd. Like some people are like, no, we put that album in 2020. We're gonna go tour on it before we even think about new music. So it was kind of cool
Yeah,
to see you kind of jumping ahead and saying, you know what, we're gonna move on to the next chapter already.
sure.
And
Yeah.
great album again, once again. Love the tunes, love the album, and wanted to talk about the collab you did with Fit for a King, Dead Reckoning,
Sure.
and obviously got Ryan Kirby on that. But I was kind of curious too, just being a music nerd. You listed Fit for a King as the collab on the track, where normally if you have a singer do a guest spot, it's just the singer's name listed. Did Fit for a King as a band produce music for it, or was it really just an easier way to say Ryan Kirby?
Yeah, I think that with management and the stuff they do, you see a lot more. Kind of the entity kind of is what it is, and I know. Um, Again, we weren't when you talk to us artists, we don't really get all hot and heavy into all that stuff, But it was an awesome opportunity towards the end of this album cycle that we were like, hey man, let's have some fun, and talked about doing some collaborations. And I know Drew Falk, who our producer was just he's just so sorry we're getting out of here this ride here, but he's such an awesome producer on kind of getting maxing out the opportunity to get the most out of us. And I know that when we got in closer to this particular song, we are like, look, I mean, we have a lot of metalcore influence, we have a lot of metal influence. I'm like, what if could we take Pop Evil there, in that direction? And we were like, let's just see what happens. So as the song started to get a little closer to finish, Drew's like, well, what about Kirby? Let's send it over his way. So Kirby had sent, I think he had it for 24 hours. So, I wasn't with him. We were kind of just doing our thing, and he sent it back what he had already done, and we just absolutely loved it, man. We were blown away. We're like, let's just put it out, man. Like we weren't. This album was so unique for the fact that like we weren't trying to overthink it. Like we're trying to get back to our roots again about having fun and just being like when we were kids getting into the game. We just wanted to just put out music, be creative, and just not be so worried. I think sometimes when you get lost in seven albums, or you've been doing this a long time, or is this going to be played on radio? Sometimes you can get lost in the shuffle, and it can be very draining and stressful. So it was like, look, we're just having fun again, and if we felt good to the band and we feel like we can perform it live, then we ran with it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, this is far into your career to kind of go back to that basic mentality of like, hey, let's just get in a room and jam and just put it out there and see what happens.
100%, 100%. When it comes to the collaborations, they were very organic in that setting. We didn't sit back. It's kind of like, but we definitely thought about, when you look at some of those hip hop records from the '90s and so on, and so even from pop records, there's a lot of collaborating that makes it a little more fun for the listener. And I think that if we want to grow this community that is rock, metal, alt, whatever they want to judge it as, that the more we can team up together, we'll create more opportunities, and certainly an opportunity for possibly mixing the fan bases. There's fans that are never going to like you, but there are fans that will like you when they do find you in different ways. So it was an awesome opportunity. We ran with it, and it was certainly a fan favorite already. Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, I love that tune, and can't wait to hear it live, and looking forward to the show. We got you in Southern California here, Observatory in Santa Ana on April the 10th, and finally, dude, a headline show. I feel like I've seen you open for 1,000 bands, and you've got like 20 songs I want to hear every show, so now we finally get a headline show, man.
Yeah, we've been, just West Coast has been really tough for our band for whatever reason. It's just, we're a radio band, so, getting radio and rock radio out there has always been a bit of a challenge. So it just feels finally good. That was the first thing on my radar when we set out to do these tours. It's like, where are we on the West Coast? Where are we? San Diego, LA. Is it on there? Let's go. So, it just feels good that our booking agents, our managers, everyone's paying attention, and they were listening to trying to get it out there, because we do have a following. And if we really want to grow the markets, we got to get out there, and enough's enough. So I love hearing you say that. And we're excited to finally be your way and bring in some of this new music too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, you got so many hits, so many songs you have to play, plus squeeze in a couple from the last couple albums. It must be a difficult thing getting to make a set list at this point.
Dude, that's the truth. I mean, we're trying to find that happy medium, where we kind of can respect the old fans that have been there for a minute, but at the same time be open to this new audience that we have. It's a different band in a way, right? We have, since COVID, I feel like the band members that want to be here, and all bands are here. The ones that don't want to be here left. Right. So it's just, and I think that's maybe in all genres of music, or in all businesses, right? Like COVID kind of changed the perspective of people who didn't want to be in that field. They got out, learned how to make money in different positions, and they kind of ran with that. And it's definitely played a role,
And definitely want to give a shout out to the World Alive, who will be opening up that show for you.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they're Void's opening the show, then A Word Alive. These bands are they're aggressive in their energy, man. It's exciting having them out, man. Their energy is at an all-time high. We're certainly a very energetic band as well. So, having those guys out to compliment, it's been awesome. It's only week 1. So, I mean, we can't wait till we really start setting into our vibe here a bit. But no, these guys are great. Such positive people too. And, the way they're rocking with the crowd every night, it's been awesome. So you definitely want to get early and check these guys out. They're rad.
And how long does it take you to get into the groove of things? It take 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Probably take me a week, maybe 2. We've had 4 months off, so I really don't know exactly every tour. You're always like a little bit like, how long is this going to take me to get back in this rhythm? But, last night was really humming. We had a great show last night. The first couple were amazing as well. We just played in the home state of Michigan, so it's always good to get the family and friends happy. Make sure, do one of these. Okay, everyone got their tickets free. They're good. But it's good, man. It's good. But I think we're gelling, just kind of getting our bodies back into touring shape and getting it dialed in. So probably about a week and a half, we'll be good to go.
Beautiful, man. Love it. Last thing I got to hit you with, Leigh. I appreciate all the time. We're an old school radio station. We do mandatory Metallica every night at 10 p.m., which you're going to be a part of. Kind of curious.
I love that.
If you were going to do a Metallica cover, what do you think it would be? What would suit your voice?
Oh, Lux Eterna, man. All day. I love
the new one.
Yeah, I love the new one, man. Take it easy, man. And all my nieces and nephews, all the kids are on me. I think I've heard that song more than I've heard the new album. All they do is cram that one. So I have it memorized by now, so I could probably do that one pretty well.
I love that, man. A brand new heavy tune like that, and great that they're still putting out music that heavy.
It's inspiring, man. Metallica still doing it with that kind of energy. It definitely leads fuel to us to just, some extra inspiration to keep doing what we're doing, man. It's always great to see what Metallica's doing, just keeping after it.
You think you could pull off the oh yeahs and everything too, like James?
No, hell no, not as good as him. But I'll try to do my part. There's only one James, right? There's only one James.
I love that, man. Beautiful, Leigh. Thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to see you out there at the Observatory, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see you in person here in a few weeks.
See you then. Safe travels.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.